All right, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachahakwadash. Double honors due to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect out there. All right, this is your brother Yeshaya, and this lesson is going to be based off of camp yesterday, which was a very eventful camp. Usually, you know, well, the last couple weeks, well, it wasn't too much traffic, but yesterday was a very, there's a lot of foot traffic in the middle of downtown. Okay, and right here is a little clip from the camp from yesterday, and I'm going to just play, just a couple minutes of it because I have precepts to bring out. All right, because this is not about me. This is about giving all glory to the Lord and for putting the Ruach HaKodesh on us, individuals, each one of you are to, bring the word out in all truth and sincerity, okay, with no guile found in our mouth, so we can be able to wash the blood off our hands because the Lord gave us this unction to be able to teach the people and warn the people and to be a reprover because we're coming upon a time where we won't be able to do that anymore, okay? Everything is about to be shut down. So without further ado, I'm gonna play a little bit of this vid, and then I'm gonna bring out some precepts. Basically, this video is gonna be about the importance of the prophecy in Ezekiel 37 about the sign, okay, the 12 tribe sign. And yesterday got a lot of attention from these younger kids. I don't know if it was a high school thing, graduation or something, but it was hundreds of them. Okay, and a couple of them came up and inquired about the sign, which the Apostle Tuhar on down has been saying. This sign is a topic of controversy, so to say. It draws people in like a gnat or a fly to a light. you know. So without further ado, I'm gonna play a little bit of this clip of camp and then get into the scriptures. This is definitely modern day Egypt, and it's spoken about even after the Exodus. It's mentioned many times, even in the New Testament, about Egypt. But anyway, the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, which means Israel, okay, the homeland. And there you should be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So what nation of people, so-called, came over from the west coast of Africa that were exiled out of their homeland of Israel and went into the interiors of Africa and then were bought across the water into modern day America? And that's just one tribe. That's Judah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, like,
Y'all mind being on camera, man?
oh no, I don't mind.
Hey, these young guys right here have some good questions, man.
Hey y'all.
That's what we out here for, to answer
Is this
questions.
live?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So, all right. So I was just wondering, like, in a statement or like a quote, out of the Bible, or a statement like, so, like, the Lamb of God or the Lamb of God was like died for like the whole for the world. I guess I'm camera shy now.
No, it's all good. Yeah, it's all
No,
good.
like, let's say like he died for the world. He
Yeah.
died for all.
Yeah.
Is that just excluding this? Is that just putting this aside, or is that saying like for the world, but this is like only the world?
The latter. This is the world that he speaks of. Because when you go into John 3:16, okay, you go into the inner lyric, you go into, because this book is basically written in Hebrew, Latin, and Greek. Okay, so when you go into that Greek word in John 3:16, and actually a lot of people don't even read the top part. So let's start. Let's go to John.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, I went into breaking down, John 3:16, John 3:15, Moses, the brazen serpent, and everything like that, But this young guy, he had a good question. I think he probably was an Israelite. I told him that he had the spirit of an Israelite, and he got the curly hair and everything like that. Which we don't go off aesthetics, but we try the spirit by the spirit, okay. And we know that we are the children of the Most High. So I don't know about the guy that was next to him. He was just sitting there, kind of like just sitting there, kind of in awe, like a deer in headlights. But the guy right here on the left, he had some good questions, and we talked for a little bit, and I answered all questions that they wanted, and they left, with all their questions answered, which how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be apt to teach, be ready to give every man an answer, okay, and also have our answers, basically seasoned with salt. Okay, I didn't run them down the street. I didn't say you Esau, eat them, you going into slavery. I said that they might be Israelites, and I answered their questions accordingly. Like the apostles, told us and taught us. So, without further ado, he asked about the sign. He said, "Is the sign basically symbolic of the world that Yahushua came to die for and to redeem?" Okay, which he was right. I told him the latter, which that was the latter part of his question. All right, and you know yeah, very eventful camp, and hey, that's what we're supposed to do. And if you're in the right spirit, you won't get confounded by questions like these, man. Okay, like we see these other camps. So without further ado, let's get the book of Ezekiel to the said prophecy. Ezekiel 37:15. The word of the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua came unto me, saying, "Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick, all right, a plank." So let's see what that word stick means. Okay. Okay.
Strong's H 6086. Eights. Eights.
Okay. Eights. And it is tree, wood, plank, stalk, stick, gallows, trees, wood. Okay. So yeah, and that's how we were taught, to have the 12 tribes on a plank. Okay. All right. Now, we are living, we are rehearsing the righteous acts. So we're not going to do everything to a T. So some brothers don't have wood, and a wood sign is hard to carry, man. But nonetheless, the 12 tribe sign is still there, whether brothers have it on poster boards, written down on whatever, hey, it's still symbolic of the stick that is mentioned right here. So Ezekiel 37:16, once again, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, for Israel his companions. So that's why we have the 12 tribes chart, okay, all the way up from Judah down into Issachar, the northern and the southern kingdom collectively. And this is a very important prophecy, okay, because that symbolizes, basically the kingdom of heaven being built and being established. Because when the Israelites that were in Judea, that were in the homeland, and when Yahushua was, on the scene, they thought that the kingdom was, to be basically built or started right then. But it couldn't happen because the majority of the northern kingdom was over in Arsareth, or over in the Americas. Okay, after during the Assyrian captivity, they left to serve their power, because the Assyrian captivity was so hectic. Lord had the spirit to where the northern kingdom, the 10 tribes, came over to the Americas. All right, and it's the 10 tribes. I mean, it's really 9, but Dan was in there, and also Levi is basically one of the tribes that didn't have an inheritance. So when, we talked about the 10 tribes, you got to take those into account. So, but they did have an inheritance because they were the high priest. So Ezekiel 37 and, yep, for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. So Judah, representative or the head tribe of the southern kingdom, okay, and Slakia. And in likewise manner, Ephraim, okay, representing the head of the northern kingdom, or the whole house of the northern kingdom, all right. And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, What thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before thy eyes. So that's why it's important to have the 12 tribes line out when we're on the highways and byways, okay, to explain to, the nations, and, it said our people. And, I don't know, this guy might be an Israelite. He had like an Israelite spirit about him. I don't know about his friend, like I said, the one that's to the left of him, but, it is what it is, all right? So, moving on, let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 13, because it said, not 13, let's see, Matthew 24 and, alrighty. Yeah, verse 14. And the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Okay. And in the NLT and the good news, all right, and I was telling them, about the good news and the gospel. They kept, these kids kept coming up and was like, man, this is interesting. This is amazing, this information. And they said it's so different from what they believe. And I'll say, hey, this is the new song that is spoken about. All right, when the Lord said they should, basically sing a new song. This is that revised. Well, the not revised, because the word is the same. Okay, the Lord changes not. So it's always been the same, but how it has been percepted or perceived through the Spirit has been different. Okay, take into account certain instances, okay, where the Lord had the seals sealed. So you have to take into account that. But and yeah. So so the end is come, man. And they were saying, and even the guy the young guy, I asked if they heard of Abba Bivens, okay, and he said that he actually heard of Abba Bivens, and I actually made a reference to the movie Roots, okay, and the same guy, okay, this guy right here, the curly hair, he actually said that he actually watched that movie last night, which was very crazy to me, but it's all through the Spirit. And as I told him, that was the Spirit. It's the reason why they came up there, all right. So yeah, you might be a Jake. Isaiah 34 and 16. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall meet her mate. For my mouth it had commanded, and his spirit it had gathered them. So this is a spiritual book. This is living waters. This is not some, a false book like the Quran, or false book like the goddamn Talmud or whatever that these people read. Okay, this is the Holy Bible. These are living waters. These words are spirit and they are life. Okay. Hey, this is and Yahushua embodied the word, because the word was made flesh, right? So hey, this and the spirit of prophecy. I mean, the spirit of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. Okay, which sets aside this book from every other book. Jeremiah 23 and 29, and it reads, "Is not my word like as a fire, saith the Lord, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock into pieces?" All right, so hey, this word is like fire, man. Okay, it breaketh the rock into pieces, and just the people that I interacted with yesterday, man, they were so in awe about the word, and that's how you know that this book is valid. This book is living water, okay, because out of everything that people were doing, they were coming and inquiring about the word of the Lord. And once it was, through the Spirit explained to them, okay, they were in awe. It was like, damn, this is interesting. This is something I never heard before, which, that's the word of the Lord, and it's coming out. All right, but it's only meant for the elect to get, so people can be in awe about it, or, taken aback, but still don't understand it, which further validates the power of this book, man. Hey, call Halal Yahweh Shem Yahushua for us having the spirit to be able to break this book down, man. All right. This is just a very special thing, man. It's a version of spiritual power, Revelation 22:6. And he said unto me, these sayings are faithful and true. And the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts, and the Lord Yahweh of the holy prophets sent his angel to show unto his servants the things which must shortly be done. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. So we're doing that to the best of our ability, man, and linking in with the Spirit, locking in with the Spirit, and we're at the end. We're at the end of this thing, and hey, this gift is something that cannot be. You can't thank the Lord enough for this gift, man. For real, it's that's why it's so precious, man, and brothers need to really don't take it for granted. Talking first and foremost to myself. So going into the prophecy of the importance of how the plank or the stick or the 12 tribe sign, as we call it today, is so important. Jeremiah 50:4, in those days and in that time, saith the Lord, Yahweh, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek the Lord Yahweh their power. So that's the powerful thing. Once the northern and southern kingdom come back together, that's when the beginnings of the workings of building the kingdom of heaven is actually, gonna be in the play, and that's what has been happening, ever since the 1960s. And also, I talked to the young brother, the young guy. Okay, I think he's a Jake, but he, we was talking about the 1960s, and he said it's amazing. I don't know if it was him or another group, because I talked to a couple groups, but he basically said that around the 1960s, the so-called Blacks and Latinos started to come together and revolt. You had certain parties, coalitions and everything like that came together. Okay, I forgot the actual names, but you had the Puerto Ricans joining with the blacks. Okay, and that's a spiritual thing. All right, the Ephraim. All right, the so-called Puerto Ricans, the head of the northern linking up with Judah, the head of the southern tribes. Okay, and that's indicative of the kingdom of heaven being, established, the house of David being built, okay, the tabernacle of David, all right, being rebuilt, okay. We are the temple, okay. The temple was the second temple was destroyed, and we are the temple of the Lord now, okay. So with us coming back together and unifying as brothers, as tribe mates of the 12 tribes, whatnot. Hey, that's a very, very important thing. And that's what I was thinking about. And, as I was going into this yesterday. All right. Now going to the verse 33. Actually, let me read. Did I read verse 5? They shall ask their way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. And part of the northern kingdom being separated from the southern kingdom was a curse, okay. But the Lord promised that He will close the breaches thereof. All right, which means that all the schisms and everything that it says Judah shall not vex Ephraim, and Ephraim shall basically I think I got that in the notes. I'll bring that up later. But this is Jeremiah 50:33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Okay, so the northern kingdom left the Assyrian captivity to serve the power, our power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua over in the Americas, Arsareth. Okay, it took them about a year and a half to get. It takes about a year and a half to get there from the canal ways and the waterways that the Lord has set up, because you can't just easily go from one place to another in this world, man. All right, the Lord has it to where you have certain currents that take you, the Dead Sea, and then around. I gotta look at the map, but I can see it in my head. But basically, the River Jordan, and then tributaries and everything like that, linking it to seas and then to the oceans. Okay, and then around certain panhandles, like the panhandle of Africa. All right, the Cape, they call it the Cape of Africa, I guess, in the lower part, Southern Africa and around. And it's basically like a map, okay, that you have to follow, and you have to know to get certain places, and that's why Solomon had, his navy. He had expert men that knew, how to navigate the seas, man. All right. So, uh, let's see. Going on, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, and verse 12 and 13. I'm gonna start at 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand against the second time, to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and Hamath and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel. Okay, and the outcasts of Salakia, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. And in the NLT, he will raise a flag among the nations and assemble the exiles of Israel. He will gather the scattered people of Judah from the ends of the earth. Okay, and Judah was over in the ends of the earth. Okay, because when, like I said, the northern kingdom was over here in Arsareth, known as Arsareth, the western part of the world, the fourth part of the world. Okay, Judah was still in got basically translated into the Babylonian captivity, and from then the Medo-Persian captivity, then from the Greek captivity to the Roman captivity, the Greco-Roman captivity, and then over here in the Americas, where basically the Northern Kingdom was judged first. Okay, the conquistadors and everything like that came over and did what they did to them. Okay, the Spanish, the British, the French, and all that. Okay, and then the Judites came over here. All right, at the latter part, and faced one of the most horrific slaveries known as chattel slavery. All right, or the transatlantic slave trade. Okay, so verse 13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. So the schisms and the in the body are being basically the Lord said he will close up the breaches thereof. All right, close up the breaches. Yep. And in that day I will raise up the tabernacle of David. Amos 9 and 11. And in that day I will raise up the tabernacle of David. Okay, like I said, the house of David, the tabernacle of David includes all of the 12 tribes. Because Jacob, okay, being the progenitor of the 12 tribes, is also who? King David. Okay. Which I think is interesting for ears to hear. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. So there you go. The Lord has, cleaning up the breaches thereof. All right. And this is all prophecy. This is all prophecy coming to pass. Okay. Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter, 18th verse. And it reads, in those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given them for an inheritance unto your fathers. So, hey, the first part is is being done right now, being established through the Spirit. Okay, Judah and Ephraim are coming together, and we are in the land of the north right here, right now, Babylon the Great. So that's why the deliverance out of Babylon the Great is separate from all other deliverances that the Lord has, blessed us with as people to preserve us, man. Okay. And this is the last one. And, we're coming together. Okay. Hey, we got brothers of all of the tribes in camps. Okay. So, hey, call hello, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for, these prophecies coming together, man. And showing us that, hey, this thing is real, man. All right. Showing our flesh this, man, because our spirit knows, but the Lord is putting it so evident now that, this is undeniable. Even people in the world are seeing it, right? Ezekiel 34 and 23. And I will set up one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them, even my servant David. He shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd. Okay. So there you go. All right. The Lord is basically, raising up the tabernacle of David. And like I said, in the when Yahushua walked the earth, okay, that's why such revolts and everything like that was happening. And like Judas Iscariot forcing the Lord's hand, and those zealots and the Sicarii and all that history, because they wanted, they were going through hell as being tributaries of Rome, okay, getting taxed out the ass and everything, okay, and just being oppressed, and they were tired of it. And when the Messiah actually walked the scene, or began to walk the scene, it was like, okay, well, this is the hell is over, but it was just starting. And yeah, that's why Yahushua wept and went through 70 AD and the falling away and everything that we must go through. But we're at the end, so hey, that's time. It's time to rejoice, man. Even though we're going through this straight gate, Jacob's trouble is on the cusp. But hey, we're at the end of this thing, man. That's me and the brother always used to talk about that. We're at the end of this thing. We're not in chattel slavery anymore. It's a beautiful thing, man. Okay. Oh man, all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, this is the book of Baruch, chapter 2 and verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. And we are in the land of the worst captivity. And hey, we remembered ourselves, man. Are we remembering ourselves? And what? We're surnaming ourselves after our forefather Jacob, and basically, not adhering to the proverbs and the bywords, which is a curse. Okay, we're not, we're shaking that off, and we're, to the best of our ability, from what we know of our fathers, and through our spirit, we're like, okay, well, I'm from the tribe of Judah. I'm from the tribe of this, even though we don't, scriptures say not to get engulfed with endless genealogies. But for the most part, we know, okay, we'll have an inkling of what tribe we may be from, okay, and that's, shaking off the curse of this world and that proverb and byword that, our enemies put on us to get us further away from, our identity as Israelites. All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30. I'm gonna start at 1. And the word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, saying, thus speaketh the Lord, power of hosts, of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I have gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. And these are the words that the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. So this is all about the tribes, coming together, man. Now let's see what that phrase means. Okay, bring again the captivity, because it would sound like from face value that the Lord is going to put us into another captivity, or put us into another captivity. But this is talking about the end. Okay, where He's going to release us from this captivity, or save us, redeem us. Jeremiah 30 and 3, for the time is coming when I will restore the fortunes of my people of Israel and Judah. I will bring them home to this land that I gave to their ancestors, and will possess it again. I, the Lord, have spoken. So that's how you know that the people that are over there in our homeland are not, the ones, because it says they shall learn war no more. And hey, for that Balfour Declaration, 1948, when they first got over there, they had a war with Egypt. So and from then on, thousands and thousands of skirmishes and wars. Ultimately, the least of the flock is going to draw them out. Okay, so basically World War III is going to be, basically spearheaded by them, and Russia is going to be the ultimate finisher. Like the scriptures say, the end of it was at the feet of a bear. Okay, representing Russia. Okay, all right. And I got one more. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 44. And it reads, verse 5. Isaiah 44 and 5. One shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob. Okay. And the other shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and surname himself by the name of Israel. Okay. Verse 5 again. Some would proudly claim, I belong to the Lord. Others would say, I'm a descendant of Jacob. Some will write the Lord's name on their hands and will take the name of Israel as their own. So that's us shaking off that proverb and byword as being black, Negro, because that carries a spirit. Okay, it carries one spirit. All right, of you adhering to the curses and the bywords and the proverbs that were put on us, and there's another which is fulfilling prophecy that the remnant will do. Okay, by shaking all of that off and surnaming ourselves after Jacob as per our prospective tribes, and that is why the plank or the 12 tribe sign, that prophecy is so important, very much as well to this day. All right. So yeah, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'm gonna end it with that, giving our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors due to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, safety to the Lord's elect out there. Shalom.